It's almost glizzy season, and while hot dogs can be great with the most simplest of condiments, we here in America like to exercise our right to excessiveness. So in honor of America, I'm doing this Mexican style with fresh guacamole, bacon, cotija cheese, and Chipotle Mayo. Oh, and did I mention we're simmering this in beer? That's kind of American, right? So get ready to get those throats wet.
Alright, so this is seriously an easy recipe, and the best part about it is that the two things we need to prep beforehand can still serve a purpose at your next barbecue. Guac with some chips and the Chipotle Mayo on a burger is fire. So let's get this guac going, and if you have your own guac recipe, go for it. I'm keeping this simple with a few ingredients and some smoked salt, but if you want to add some cumin or Mexican seasonings to your guacamole, do it. So I'm finally dicing up one whole red onion. This one was kind of medium sized, which is why I went with the entire onion, but if you find yourself with a jumbo red onion, maybe use just half. Next, I'm dicing up 2 Roma tomatoes, and I'm taking out the seeds so we don't turn this into guacamole soup. And the same way it is when cutting peppers, we're gonna do the same thing with these tomatoes, cutting with the flesh facing up, because it'll be much easier than cutting with the waxy surface facing up. Next is 3 ripe jumbo avocados. You'll know it's right at the store if you push your thumb into it with a little pressure and it has a slight give. Almost like you could shape it if you used your whole hand. You definitely don't want an avocado that isn't ripe or you'll be mashing for days. And if you haven't cut on an avocado before, congratulations, you're jumping right into the shit, ain't you? Take a sharp knife and start on one of the long sides and cut into it, and you'll meet resistance when you meet the seed in the center, also called the pit. Then you'll just rotate the avocado 360 degrees, keeping that cut straight as possible, and it should pop right open with a little twist. As for the pit, use a little force to dig your knife into it, and then just turn your knife and it comes right out. Then just scoop out all that delicious avocado flesh. Next up, dice up a bunch of cilantro. This might have been like 3/4 cup worth of cilantro at the end of it. Then we'll cut open a jalapeno and remove the seeds and ribs, and if you are someone who wears contact lenses like me, I highly suggest you put some damn gloves on or you will pay the price later. That jalapeno oil and heat is no joke when it gets on your fingers and eventually finds its way to your contact lenses. Even if you wash your hands a few times, it can still be a little residue under your nails and stuff, so just be safe. And remember, the flesh side up to make dicing easier and safer. Then we just need the juice of half a lime and a good sized pinch of smoked sea salt, or regular kosher salt is fine if that's what you have. And this might have been like half a teaspoon to a whole teaspoon of salt. Another optional thing to do is add some fresh minced garlic, about 2 to 3 cloves worth. But I had to save my garlic for a separate recipe, but I promise you, if I had some extra, I would have used it here. Then just mash it up and mix it till you get the consistency you like. Some like theirs chunky and others like it more mushy. Just remember, this is going on a hot dog, so take texture into consideration. And also a quick hack, once you're done for the day with your guacamole and you still have some left over, simply place it in a smaller container if you need to, smooth out the surface, and then cover it with about a ½ inch of cold water. It'll keep the top from browning, and there are other methods like lime juice or putting the pit in, but I like the water one. And then the next day you just pour the water out and you go about scooping up your guac. Oh, and one last thing, definitely taste your guac and see if it needs anything else. Usually it's just a matter of salt, but you just never want to go off pure measurements and think it's perfect. Next up, our Chipotle Mayo. We'll need half a cup of mayo, 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1/4 teaspoon of smoked sea salt, or regular kosher salt is fine here too, 1/4 teaspoon of onion powder, half a teaspoon of chipotle powder, or you could use 1 tablespoon of minced chipotle peppers in adobo sauce if you have that, 1/8 teaspoon of cumin, and lastly, like 1 teaspoon of fresh lime juice. Mix that all up, and if you find this mayo too thick, like maybe you want to put it in a squeeze bottle or something like I'm doing here, a teaspoon of water will help thin it out. Now, it is hot dog time. I've got a pack of 8 bun-length Nathan's hot dogs. I like these and the Hebrew Nationals brand since the skinless nature of these makes me feel like they're taking a lot more flavor from the grill, or in our case, simmering. And the insides have a good firmness, and it could be all in my imagination, but I do like these. And I grew up on ballparks, but now their texture is kind of gross to me. Like it feels super mushy inside, like I'm eating a hot dog filled with mashed potatoes. But hey, use whatever hot dog you like. So to a pan over medium heat, and make sure it's one you have a lid for, we're pouring in a 12-ounce bottle of Mexican beer. And if you feel like this is a waste of beer, just don't do it. Hit the grill and fire them suckers up. This part is for those who don't have a grill and want to have some fun in the process. And yes, you will taste the fun. To that beer, we're also adding in 1 cup of beef broth and 1 tablespoon of this Cattleman's Grill Mexicano seasoning. You can use any Mexican seasoning you have on hand. I just like this brand a lot. And then we bring it to a simmer, and then we put our hot dogs in, cover it up, and let them simmer away for about 20 minutes. I think I turned them about 10 minutes in to the other side. And then once they're done, just get them onto a paper towel to dry a bit, and that's it. You could still throw these on the grill for a second to get some char, but I really want this recipe to be for those who want a good summer filling food but don't have the necessary equipment. Don't worry, my barbecue friends, I'll be firing up my grills a lot this summer, but I got to look out for everyone. And remember, a grill is just an oven with flavor, so everything I make on the grill can still be adapted for the kitchen. Anyway, plate your hot dogs up. I topped it with some guacamole, some pieces of crumbled bacon, because what is a Mexican hot dog without bacon? Some Cotija cheese, which is the Mexican Parmesan for lack of better terms, our Chipotle Mayo, and some pickled jalapeños. And there you have it, a little preview of summer. Hey everyone, this is Poor Choices Kitchen. We have a Patreon link down in the description. $1 a month is all we ask for, although you can edit your donation to be whatever value you want it to be, or you can sign up for the YouTube memberships. $2.99 a month is what that is, because YouTube likes to take their cut, both going a long way for helping me pay for recipes in these here inflated times, and also these unemployed times, yay! So I hope you enjoyed this little slice of heaven, and I will see you all back here next week. Peace.